This is your total body cardiovascular workout for the follicular phase. The mantra for this phase is grow. Our hormone levels and our energy levels are on the rise, and we feel more of a radiant energy outward. We also have a quicker recovery time and a slightly lower baseline metabolism. And what this means is we can enjoy higher exertion and more demanding workouts without as great a risk of burnout. We are still in the building portion of the cycle though. So we aren't lifting super heavy, but we are going to be using complex total body movement patterns with light resistance to really open to new movement patterns and sort of a complexity that the body and mind are ready for at this time in the cycle. For this workout, I recommend a very light set of weights, something in the 1 to 5 pound range. I'm using 3-pound dumbbells today. If you have wrist or ankle weights that you like to use, those work great as well. You'll need a mat and a towel and some water because this is going to be a sweaty workout. In the follicular phase, we really like to use heat and sweat to clear any congestion, any energetic stagnation that might be sort of lingering left over from your flow days. So anything you weren't able to clear through your flow, it's an opportunity to do that here in the follicular phase. This workout does include a warm-up and a cool-down, but if you're short on time or you have your own method of warming for a workout and cooling down, please feel free to use those. And just really tune in for the core 30-minute portion of this practice. We've offered low impact options throughout, so really use the ability to customize this workout to meet you where you are. And know that that can change from the beginning of the workout to the end. You might start feeling a bit sluggish and take kind of the more low impact options and then feel more energized, or it might be the other way around. You might come in feeling really energized and then need to tone it down to maintain that steady state throughout the workout. Let's get started with today's practice. We are going to jump right into today's workout with a quick full body warm up. So come to a comfortable standing position. We're going to start with 3 very deep breaths to create that mind body connection. With an inhale, sweep your arms out and up, huge big breath in, and exhale, let it out. Again, inhale, reach. Big breath, exhale, allowing yourself to arrive here. Inhale. And exhale, let it out. From here, we're going to step out with a wide squat and arm movement here. So circle the arms as you step out and then back together as you step the feet together. We're just warming the legs. The goal here is to increase circulation and get the body ready to move. So starting nice and slow, just allowing your body to check in. So noticing any sensations you feel, really acknowledging anything your body might be trying to tell you as you begin and get ready for this workout. We're in our follicular phase, so we're getting ready for some cardiovascular movement here. One more here. Step the feet nice and wide, turn the toes in, the heels slightly out. We're just alternating a lateral lunge here, tapping with the opposite fingers. Again, just working into all planes of motion in the spine and the hips, getting your body ready, a bit warmed up. Last 3 here, 3, 2, and 1. Come back up to standing. Take your hands behind you, interlace your fingers. Start to stretch the arms straight and strong without puffing the low ribs. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, gentle bend in the knees, fold over your legs. Nice wide forward bend here, just to stretch across the chest. Maybe wiggle from side to side. And then release your hands. Begin to walk your hands out as if you were in downward dog. So pressing all 10 finger pads into the mat, creating some space in the back of the heart, some length in the spine. And then slowly walking the hands back to center. I'll mirror you in movement here. Keep your left hand planted. Spin your right arm open. Rotate the spine. Let the hips stay nice and even and square here. Just imagine a gentle touch pressing your top palm open. Release that, exchange sides. So the right hand comes down, left arm twists open. Big breaths here, inflating the lungs all the way. And then coming back through center, gentle bend in the knees, slowly rise up, reach the arms overhead. And we'll turn now over your right foot, coming into a lunge with the arms reaching up. So find your strong, stable lunge here. The hips are square, separation between the thigh bones, and both legs are equally strong here. So don't forget about your back leg. Charge it up with energy. Take a big breath in. And then as you inhale, lower, tap the knee to the earth, and then exhale, hug your knee in, balance on one foot. So we'll be here for a few breaths, just starting to awaken the supporting muscles in the legs. So we're lunging back and knee driving up, back and up. We'll be here for 5, 4, use your breath, 2, and 1. Come back through your lunge. We'll turn to the long edge of your mat now, the toes pointing out, the heels slightly in. Bend your knees deeply. Find that deep goddess squat here. Allow your right forearm to come to right thigh. Side bend. Reach your left arm up and over to the right. Deep breaths. Start to feel that heat, that energy moving through the body. That's what the follicular phase is all about, is getting the body into expansion mode, stirring up energy. Come through center, reach your arms forward, switching sides now. Left forearm to the left thigh, right arm reaches up and over to the left. Come back up through center, reach both arms up. We'll turn now over the left foot for that lunge with a knee drive. So find your strong, stable lunge here first. Activate your back leg. Big breath in as you lower the back knee down. And then exhale, stand, hug the knee into chest. So we inhale and exhale. Deep lunge and lift up. So these unilateral movement patterns can tell you a bit about where your mind and body is in this moment. If you're finding balance to be a bit of a challenge, can you focus more? Can you steady your gaze? 5 more here. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and 1. Come back through your lunge. Turn to your nice wide stance here, and we'll heel toe the feet together to about hips width distance apart, so a little bit closer. And add a very generous bend in the knees as you fold over the legs. And just allow the spine, head and neck to hang heavy here. You can take opposite elbows for ragdoll. Just really creating some space in the shoulders, the chest. Then slowly come up halfway. Bring your hands to your hip creases here. Allow your shoulders to shrug. Create a bit of traction in the low spine. And then we'll slowly rise up. And we are warmed and ready to move. So we'll start our workout portion of this practice. As I mentioned in the intro, all you will need is a mat, and you can do all of these movement patterns with body weight only, but if you have them, wrist or ankle weights are great to add that bit of resistance. I'm going to be working with very light weights. I just have 3 pounds today, and I would recommend staying in that range, something manageable and sustainable that you can really travel with, so 1 to 5 pounds max. So have those ready. You can also use a mini loop band for part of this workout. If you don't have the band, you can use a headband, an elastic from your sports bra, or again, just go body weight only. This is a timed workout here, so I will get my timer ready. Once I start it, we have 20 seconds to set up. So have your weights and your band ready, your towel, your water. And we're beginning with our 1-minute cardio burst interval here. It's just air squats to continue to warm the body up. We'll get started in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. We're here with air squats, and we're here for a minute. So you control the range of motion here. You can start a bit higher and then gradually get deeper as we go. We're really focusing on driving through the heels on the way up and giving a gentle squeeze in the glutes without really curling the tail. We're just toning and bringing the glutes into an integrated position at the top of the movement. We're here for a whole minute. We've got about 30 more seconds here before we move to our first pair of weighted movements. So stay with it. Keep the chest and head elevated so you have that full deep breath fueling your muscles. Really get the body and the blood flowing here. A few more seconds. Stay with it. And breathe. So use the rhythm of your breath to tune in, to check in with the body. 3, 2, and 1. We've got a 20-second break here. Grab your light weights, or if you have them already, on your wrists or your ankles. Our first movement here is going to be a chair push with a step back and tricep kick. So it looks like this. We sit low in the chair and push and kick back. We'll get started now. So we're here for 40 seconds, pushing, staying deep in that seated chair. So pushing forward, controlling the weight. So using some power, but without swinging. So you want to keep the muscles under tension the entire time. Focus on mind-muscle connection here. Can you keep the muscles of the arms engaged through the entire range of motion? So it's a push. Find your strength and then kick, squeeze the triceps on the way back. Push and kick back. And that's our first interval. We have 3 rounds of these 2 exercises back to back. So our next movement is a curtsy with lateral raise. And then we squat in the middle with a curl. We're going side to side. Here we go in 2, 1. So it's a curtsy with a lateral raise and then a squat with a curl. Stay nice and low in the legs. And know that this curtsy need not be really wide. A lot of times you see that kind of extended curtsy. We're focusing on the legs and the muscles in that standing leg, that front leg. So you can keep the back knee nice and close to the front heel. Drive through the front heel to make the movement happen. So with these full body compound movements, 3, 2, 1, it requires that you stay checked in the entire time. We've got our 20-second rest interval. And we're back to the chair push and tricep kick. So these whole body movements are perfect for the follicular phase. Body and mind are open to new movement patterns. So take advantage of that here. We push forward, tap back. Keep the belly drawing in. Support your low spine through the entire movement. So if we are integrated through the belly, through the core, this entire workout will be an ab workout. So here, the navel hugs in. Keep the chest elevated. Back of the neck is neutral. You have that natural curvature in the spine. So we're not puffing the low ribs, but we're not rounding in the back either. Last 3, 2, and 1. Excellent work. You can feel your breath moving. It doesn't take a lot of weight with these to really feel that endorphin rush, that surge of energy. We'll start our next round of the curtsy with lateral raise in 3, 2, 1. So we step back, lateral raise, and squat to curl. We're just alternating here. Find that rhythm. Let this become your moving meditation. So as your body begins to figure out the movement pattern, can you check in? Can you become more present? Can you use this rhythmic flow of your breath to calm your mind, even as your body is demanding energy? Can you stay in the work? Stay focused. In and out. Create that sound, that soundtrack with your breath. And rest. We've got one more round of those. Then we have our next 1 minute cardio burst. So getting mentally prepared for that. So one more set of each of these exercises. We're back to our chair push with tricep kickback. Sit low. You got this. Find your power. Feel the heat. And know that this is the time in the cycle where we are expanding. This is where we grow. So can you tap into that vibration here? Feel through heat, through movement, your entire energy body expanding. Find those rhythmic patterns here. And rest. Stay with it through the end of the interval each time. We have one more set of our curtsy with lateral raise. And then we're moving into a reverse burpee. So I'll show that for you when the time comes. For now, focus on where we are. So in 3, 2, 1, moving into our curtsy with the lateral raise and squat curl. Keep the muscles under tension. So really focus on the muscles that are engaging in the upper body. Can you keep the shoulders relaxed as you lift the weights up? So really target those smaller muscles in the top of the shoulders there. And then the bicep. Can you really squeeze the weights on the way up at the top of the movement and keep them under tension as you transition. Last 3, 2, and 1. That was awesome. You got through the first superset, the first pair of exercises. Now we're moving into our reverse burpee. So if you want the low impact version, there's no need to jump on the way up, but we'll just lower down. We're starting in 3, 2, 1. Roll onto the back, keep your arms by your sides, point your toes overhead, and then roll up. Either lift to the toes or stand. We're here for a minute. So really use this opportunity to find a short burst of high exertion, of high demand. Tuning into your breath. As you roll back, press into the hands to lift the toes overhead. And really squeeze the glutes, engage the legs on the way up, so that you can use that power to spring up or to lift onto the toes. You got this. It's kind of a refreshing spin on the burpee here, especially if you have any wrist sensitivity. Stay with it till the end and rest. Nice job. This is a great way to get that explosive surge of power if you have trouble with weight bearing on the hands. So we're going to our next weighted movement in 3, 2, and 1. We're in a lateral lunge, curl to press. And we're alternating sides here. So this is not a lot of weight for the overhead press or really for the lateral lunge. So you can pick up the pace, focus on muscle integration, and know that as you're using all of the limbs and these complex movements, you should feel your heart rate moving into that steady state working zone. And rest. So in the follicular phase, especially if you're early in this phase, we're building energy, so we want to start slow. That's what I love about these lighter weight, whole body movements, is you control the pace. You control the intensity. We're coming to our reverse fly with the front raise. So we're here. It's a fly, deep in that chair squat, and a front raise as you tap one leg out. We're alternating sides. So reverse fly and a front raise. The arms come to level with the ears as you tap one foot out to the side. So the legs are working, the belly is working this entire time. You're staying focused, staying low in the legs, keeping the belly hugging to spine. The spine is long and strong. And rest. We have 2 more rounds of that. So we're coming back now to that alternating lateral lunge with the curl to press. And again, we're just building energy here. We're starting to move any stagnation. Here we go. That may have accumulated through your previous cycle. Anything that you weren't able to clear through your flow, it happens here. Create that space. Grow into that space. It gives you room to expand, to get brighter with every cycle. And you can make this your own. So many ways to customize the intensity through your pace, through your weight selection. You can be body weight only here and kind of turn up the heat by moving at a quicker pace, staying true to your form and your breath, always paramount, and rest. All right, staying with it, towel off, grab water as needed, however often you need it. And then we'll move back to our reverse fly with the front raise. Get low in that chair, sit low, back and down. Reverse fly, front raise with a tap. So especially in these bent over body patterns, the belly hugs to the spine. Feel that support wrapping your abdominal wall all the way around. And again, you can always ditch the weights if you feel that you're having to use momentum or really bring the back into this motion. You can always just drop the weights for even just a few reps and rest. So the follicular phase, especially as our estrogen is rising, we can start to feel really good, but it can also be an opportunity to get into conversation with our ego. So where are you pushing from a place of strength? Let's go. And where are you flirting with the ego? Can you keep it in check? So if you notice your form becomes compromised, or you feel like you're becoming overly breathless, you can always slow it down. This is your workout. We're not doing it for anyone else. So take what your body needs. Can you listen when the body whispers before it has to yell? It's part of what living in alignment looks and feels like, and rest. It's that practice of listening, of resting before you're tired, of acknowledging where your edge is and pushing into growth without injury. Here we go, last set of these. It's a reverse fly, front raise with a tap. So we're staying engaged the whole time here. So if you're someone who likes to lift heavy, it can be a bit of an ego check to come down to the light weights, or even to go body weight only, especially in these types of movement patterns. But know that there is a lot of work to be done in this zone, in this steady state, elevated but sustainable zone. And rest. Excellent job. We have one more cardio burst here. So for this one, everyone's favorite burpees. We're doing a lateral shuffle with a burpee. So we'll start with our burpee here, jumping out, push up, or you can take it or leave it, and then jump, take it or leave it. Shuffle to the side, come into that push up, and then take or leave the jump as you come forward. Nice. Lateral shuffle. Jump the feet back, push up, and jump. Here we go. Stay with it. We're here for a minute. Using your strength, keeping that form and breath. You can always, if you want to keep the push-up, you can come down to the knees to keep it from moving into your low back here. And it's only a minute. We've only got these for a little bit longer. 3, 2, and 1. Finish that last rep. And we're moving now to a bit of core engagement. So this one, especially take notice of your shoulders, how they're feeling. You can always drop the weights. Coming into our forearm side plank here. Reaching the weight overhead. It's just an elbow to knee. We're here for the full 40-second interval. Reach overhead. Tap elbow to knee. So you can have the palm turning away from you. So it's kind of that cactus shape as you come and bring the elbow to the knee. The bottom shoulder directly over the elbow. The palm is active pressing down so that you can keep that supporting shoulder integrated. 3, 2, and 1. We're just switching back and forth. So it's a single exercise, but one side only. So these single-sided exercises are great for bringing balance left to right. A lot of times, the way we hold our bodies throughout the day can create these little points of tension or imbalance. And so as we address both sides, front and back, with single-sided exercises, we're slowly chipping away at those imbalances and bringing the body to that middle ground, that place of equanimity, great posture, so that your movement practice is serving you long after the timer stops. You carry it with you into the rest of your day, the rest of your week, the rest of your cycle, and rest. Switching sides again. So this is our last weighted segment here before we transition to our glute finisher. So know that that's coming. And we'll move into the other side, back to the first side once again. Here we go. Weight is overhead, and it's a knee hug. If this ever becomes too much, bring the hip down and just focus on the oblique work here. Through mind-muscle connection, you can get so much work done without the strain. If it's causing you any discomfort or you feel any strain in the shoulder, the low back, take those options. Those pathways are there for you. And know that they can change moment to moment, day to day. Last 3, 2, and 1. You should really start to feel the belly firing up. You got the heat, the sweat. It's all about that growth opportunity here in the follicular phase. Let's get ready for the second side now. And we're here, knee to elbow. Keep the body in one plane. So notice if your hips are tipping back or if they're moving forward. Same with the shoulders. Can you stay in that one nice plane here? And as you squeeze, find that extra bit of engagement at the top of the movement. That's where the potential is. Tap into that. No matter what option, which variation you have, can you add a little extra? And rest. We just have one more each side here, and then we're getting ready for our glute finisher. Just about 10 more minutes of the intensity of this workout, and then we'll find our cool down. Stay with me. What do you need to do? How do you need to change your mindset to stay strong? Can you make these last reps of this round as good as the first? Can you stay as strong throughout the workout so we stay powerful from the beginning to the end? That's why we stick to 30 minutes. That energy supply in the body, it's readily available. We don't move the body into depletion so that you can walk off your mat with more energy than when you arrived. That's the goal. And rest. Coming up on our last set here. Finish strong. Towel off, grab a drink, and we'll be here together, finishing it out in a side plank, pressing into the forearm, and we're here. Last 40-second interval of this weighted work. I know those light weights, whether you have them or you're just using body weight, you probably are starting to feel it. So when you focus your attention and your awareness, your workouts, your movement becomes so much more effective. That's the difference between a workout that is done to the body and one that is done for the body. This is an embodiment practice. That quality need not be reserved only for yoga or meditation. You can find it here. And rest. Awesome job. We have one more little cardio burst. It's a forward back lunge hop. So we're traveling a bit here in this movement pattern. We're starting with the right leg, stepping forward, back. We hop switch, and then go to the other side. So it's a forward backward lunge, hop switch, and exchange. So here you can always do the hop switch as kind of a midway point, pause in chair, and just step back. So it's a forward, backward, either step or hop switch. Keep the chest elevated. Keep your breath strong. Where can you recruit? Just a bit more speed, a bit more power to make it until the very end of this interval here. Nice strong lunges. So back knee over hip, front knee over ankle. This need not be a really wide lunge. You can find power in the legs with that shortened stance. 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. We're coming down now for our glute finisher. So again, you can do all of these with or without a band. If you have it, wrap it just above the knee. Our first movement is a step back lunge with a glute extension on one side only. So we step back, lift the back leg up, tap the knee down, lift the leg up. A bit of a balance challenge here too. This is a great point in the cycle to explore your balance from one side to the other. As we move into the second half of the cycle, that premenstrual luteal phase, balance becomes a bit more tricky. So take this opportunity here when the mind and body are ready for that challenge, and rest. Shake it out. We'll switch sides now. Once again, that lunge with an extension. We've got that coming in about 5 more seconds for our 40-second interval. Finishing it strong here for the legs and the glutes. Let's go. Lunge, extend. Find a steady point to gaze upon and really stay there. So especially as we get closer to the end of the workout, where does your mind go? Does it go to what's coming next? Does it leave this room and take a quick visit to your to-do list? Know that you've carved out this time for yourself, so stay here, stay present. That will all be there waiting for you. All you have to do here is breathe. Excellent work. We're moving now into a crab walk, side to side. Very simple, but you'll feel it. You'll start to power up and burn out in the legs. So we're getting started with that in 5 seconds. Sit nice and low. You can go travel as far as you have room, or it can be nice and short. Just 1 and 2, and 1 and 2. So you might have a nice long space that you can use. By all means, get it done. Stay nice and low. So can you make your hips in a level plane, a horizontal plane, where they don't move? Only the legs are moving. The upper body, the pelvis, is floating across. I can feel the legs start to burn here. Doesn't take much after a workout like that. And rest. Coming down now for clamshells, which are so important for glute stability, for glute strength. Can help with back pain as you cultivate strength in the outer glutes here. So we're targeting all sides of the glutes with this finisher. So you can come up onto the forearm, and we're just lifting that leg out and back down. If your shoulders are tapped out, you can come down onto the hips, lift the heels, and find the same movement here. It'll work for you. You're targeting the same muscles without the strain and the strength required in the shoulder. So take the option, the pathway that serves your body in this moment, and rest. Switching sides now. We're almost there, just 2 more exercises. So as you're ready, pressing up or staying on the side there. And we're here, open and close. Again, keeping the hips and knees in that nice plane. And the only movement is here. It's isolated to the outer glutes. That point that can get a bit weakened because it's hard to access with some of the more gross movement patterns. Here we're targeted. We're creating a body position that gives us an entry point to that part of our glutes. Breathe through it. Last 3, 2, and 1. Coming down onto the back now for our glute bridge with a press. So this one, the tendency can be to want to rush to get it done fast. But we're here, so let's make it slow and controlled. We'll start in 3 seconds. We're keeping the arms stable, pressing down to open the chest. We lift up, squeeze, and press out and back down. Lift up, squeeze, keep the ribs knitting to the hip points, press out and back down. We stay integrated the entire time. So there's a way to check out and do this and let it be a bit chaotic. Can you bring some control, some strength here, that slow and steady strength? So that can be a bit of a check-in for the follicular phase, especially as we get into our high energy and rest. It can start to feel a bit like overwhelm, a bit chaotic. So we give the mind, the body a job to do, a place to work, to channel that energy so that we can be productive and creative in this really, really valuable time in the cycle. So we are done with our workout. We're going to shift into our cool down space now. So the glute finisher kind of allowed our heart rate to lower down. Just be mindful, check in with where your heart is right now. If you need to, enjoy just a little bit of slow movement to transition from workout to stillness. We don't want to drop the body down too quickly. And when you're ready, come into a nice wide stance. We'll take a deep breath, inhale, and exhale. If you are staying with us for the cool down, we will start that sequence now. And if you're cooling down in your own way, and this is where we part, thank you so much for showing up, for sweating, and for letting your body be moved today. So for our cool down, we're starting in this nice wide stance. You can just enjoy a few soft lunges from side to side, just to bring the body back down. And when you feel that your heart rate is kind of in that more neutral place, not too elevated, it might still be a bit on the high side, but you're not breathless. You can take inhales and exhales through the nose. I want you to pause in the center and just allow your hands to reach down. Being mindful here, again, if your heart is still pumping pretty fast, keep your heart and your head level with your hips. If you find that your breath has slowed, you can start to fold a bit deeper here. Really rooting down through the knife edges of both feet. Spin the inner thighs back in space. Shift the weight a bit forward into the ball mounds of your feet. Really work into all areas of the legs here. And then find a halfway lift in the spine. Start to bend into your right knee. Find that deep hip stretch, inner thigh stretch here. And then to the other side. Just nice and slowly coming down. And then we'll start to turn over the right leg. Come into that nice low lunge here. So the front knee directly over the ankle. You can untuck your back toes and slowly rise up. So you might keep your hips directly over the back knee, that nice strong straight line. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Stretch your left arm up and over. Find a deep psoas. Stretch here. Our legs did a lot of work for us today. And then just working a bit into the shoulders, bring your hand to the back of your head, press your head into your hand and open the elbow out nice and wide. As you open into the left side body, can you breathe and expand the rib cage there? Coming back up through center, reach both arms up. This time, take your left hand to the inside of your right foot. Spin your right arm open. Nice deep spinal twist here. Kind of gently massaging the abdominal organs with that right thigh. Then let both hands come to the inside of your right foot. Heel toe your right foot out to the side. Come onto the knife edge of that foot. Let your knee splay open. And just kind of rock the hips side to side here. So in the follicular phase, we find our recovery is a bit quicker. But we still want to give ourselves a bit of transition time, a bit of cool down time before we rush off to the next part of our day. So just creating that space here for yourself. And then slowly roll the hips back, straighten that right leg a bit, just for a moment. You can reach your fingertips forward. And then we'll come back through center and just transition across the long edge of your mat to the other side. So the left foot is forward, back knee comes down. Reach the arms up. Let your left hand find your left hip crease. Right arm stretches up and over to the left. Same thing on this side. Bring your hand to the back of your head. Press your head into your hand. Let your elbow open as you lean up and over to the left. Breathing into the side waist. Allowing some expansion, some space into the hip flexors. Come back through center. Both arms reach. Inhale. And as you exhale, right hand comes down to the inside of left foot. Spin the left arm open. Find that nice twist here. Notice the breath starts to slow down. Both hands to the inside now of the left foot. Heel toe that foot out to the side. Come onto the knife edge of your left foot. Let the knee splay open. Offer your heart up and forward. And let your hips shimmy from side to side. So as your breath slows, can you create a bit of space between thoughts by tuning in to sensations that are happening now within the body, within the breath? Cultivate that conscious presence that you can carry with you. And then as you come back, straighten that left leg any amount. Let the arms reach forward. Bow the gaze down. And then we'll take that front leg back, coming into tabletop. Let the hips just sway side to side. Keep the hips directly over your knees. Walk the arms, the hands out forward, coming into puppy pose. Nice big stretch for the upper back, the shoulders. Try not to collapse into the elbows, so really pressing through the hands to keep the arms strong. And then lowering onto the belly, find Sphinx pose, the forearms pressing down. Really heavy the lower body here, press the hip points down into the mat. And then drag the forearms, the palms back along your mat against that friction to slingshot your heart forward. Really allowing there to be space between the bones of the spine so that we can grow and stretch into that space. And it really gives the body a way to find its most natural alignment. When we create space for it to kind of work its magic and come back into the right place. From here, we'll just nice and slowly transition onto the back. One final stretch for the outer glutes to sort of create a bit of space where we had so much contraction and engagement. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Hug the shape of your legs into your body any amount. So if you have very tight hips, this might be pretty intense. If you want to go a bit deeper, you can grab the back of your left thigh or even your left shin. And just acknowledge if your body is still feeling kind of some residual waves of movement. You might sway side to side as we prepare for stillness. Switching sides here, left ankle over right knee. And here I love this stretch for just giving a bit of a snapshot in where the body is from left to right. For me, the left side always speaks a bit louder than the right. Just a moment to reflect on what that might be telling you about how you sit, how you walk, how you run, how you dance, how you play. And from here, keep your left knee hugging in. Extend your right leg long. Let your left knee lower over to the right. Gentle twist. You might send your gaze over the left fingertips. And let this be a passive twist. So notice any gripping that you have in the low spine, low belly. Can you just give that over to gravity? So this follicular phase, it is a time where we feel more outward moving. The inner world wants to commune with what's happening around us. But we also need to check in and allow for these moments of receiving, of surrender. Come back through center, exchange sides. Right knee hugs in. Let the right knee lower to the left. Spinal twist here. And again, softening, releasing any holding that might be happening in the hip flexors, the groin, the low back. And hug both knees into chest. Give yourself a huge squeeze. And we'll slowly, in your own way, rock and roll up to a seat. Whatever that looks like for you. And give yourself a breath or two here just to pay attention, to notice and celebrate anything that has shifted for you. Even if you feel just a tiny bit different, a tiny bit more awake, more alive, you know that your practice has served you. I want to thank you so much for joining me in this workout today, for sweating, for showing up, and for letting your body be moved, for checking in and living in alignment with your natural rhythm. I hope to see you again soon.